Ladies, gentlemen, those who go by other titles, we have a very special treat for you folks today for the Saturday Weekly for Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer. Good evening, I am Wolfman2000, and our featured 4, plus 1 or 2 more, I believe, we'll be going through beta flags. For those that are unfamiliar, Fred Coughlin, the developer for this randomizer, has been looking into some changes, and we will be demonstrating them here today. However, we are still dealing with the traditional chaos that is 7 Koopa kids taking over the world, and then we have to bring everything back to King Bowser Koopa and hopefully teach him a lesson. And for those that are wondering, yes, we do have a new runner today. Everyone, welcome Dark Shadows 59. He, along with Claris, Fonzoid, and Human Mustard, will be our featured for today. Well, maybe we may have just had a runner try to duck out of the fame here. We will hopefully get this cleared up beforehand. So while we get everything sorted out in that regard, let's at least take care of another question from our viewing audience. Mew Mew fan, I cannot say whether that has happened yet. We cannot ban specific levels from specific forts. However, that may be a problem spot anyway. There are 2 main changes compared to our tournament settings here. Change 1. We're not going to have the end card game at all. Change 2. The level tiles, including the locks, are shuffled. That means we will have different paths throughout. So who knows what we will encounter today. Alright, we have confirmation from our runners that everything is all good and hunky-dory. So with that in mind, we're gonna have that countdown going. Our runners are soon seeing that countdown tick down from 10 to 0, and then they will take off. Starting with the Ice World, and you already see a difference, folks. The former shortcut pipe is no more. It has been moved. Fortunately, the auto-scrolling rule still applies, so 3-6 here is going to at least be fast as long as the enemy sets don't cause problems. Fonzoid is the first to get through. Ooh, Human Mustard pulled it a little bit close there. But everyone has made it through the first one. That is always a good sign. Now, do you choose 1 or 10? 1 looks to be, ooh, Hammer Brothers Hand Stage, and 10 is 5-6, the Parabeetle Getaway. Or is that 5-7? I think it's 5-6. Either way, Human Mustard is doing an excellent job with it so far. Dark Shadows, I think, had to go for it again, but that's okay. This is a short one. We don't lose too much time here. And unfortunately, I had missed the power-up. Checking the replay. Lakitu Cloud. Nice, we can skip a level. Hammer Bros are not causing problems, the mushroom is getting away, but fortunately we can skip even more stages here as... Ooh! We have Boss Bass in its natural habitat, folks. 3-8, and we already have a hungry fish. And we have some runners trying to take the pipes, but they are not working out, unfortunately. We have another pipe to check out, though. As Human Mustard is going immediately to 1-4. Ooh! Fonzoid has found a potential shortcut! And that was where 1-4 was. I see it now. Depending on if there are any locks beyond 1-4 here, we may not need to go through any fortresses in World 6. This would be huge. Both Fonzoid and Human Mustard have taken it out. Is there a clear path? We know there's one bridge, one lock. A second bridge! Wait, I didn't know that you could have a bridge there. Wow. That's the power of the beta, folks. We may have to actually build our own bridges, so we're not done yet. Time for 1-5, as Dark Shadows has taken a different path. Unfortunately, that path led into a Venus flytrap. Now, I wish I could remember what stage Dark Shadows is in, but it is definitely one of the beta levels, or as some say, the lost levels. As we get a frog suit from the coin ship. Interesting choice there. Alright, Dark Shadows, you're gonna have to be careful. Nice Goomba Stomp. Now, which fortress is it gonna be? We have 3 of them in the middle here. We already have the Air Force sighting. We also have 6 F1. The Air Force stage used to have the fastest auto-scrolling in the vanilla game, but again, we only have 2 auto-scrollers left. And Human Mustard is hoping to get a Starman from this final power-up. No Starman, no quick boom boom kill. So here's the interesting question. Which fortress is it going to be? Let's pay attention to the map screens. Fonzoid, hard to tell. No, Fonzoid got the wrong one. That was the wrong bridge. Human Mustard. Human Mustard has the right one. 6F1 is the one we need. So let's go to the World 6 airship instead. Claris is in the correct fortress, while Dark Shadows has entered... Ooh, the water fortress. Well, the door water fortress, I should say. And looks like Fonzoid also made the wrong turn. Lemmy Coop, otherwise known as Hip, I think was a 4-hitter, but... fortunately, not too much of a problem with the Raccoon Tail and excellent hover skills. So that's one world down. This is the power of the new flags, folks. Hope you enjoy the ride. Claris is catching up. And Fonzoid learns of the bad news. It's the 3rd and final fort. Next up, World 2. And an early pipe. Ooh boy, where will this take us? Ooh, 3 stages away, but uh-oh. 6-5 with Boss Bass, never a good sign. Fortunately, you can despawn Boss Bass just by going in the pipe. Now, one interesting flag that was not enabled for this run is you can now have effectively a frog % flag enabled. This flag will allow Frog Mario to be able to complete every level. What that does in this level, it lowers that pipe down so that you don't have to worry about flying up. However, we do not do much Frog Mario percentage so far. Maybe for a fun race we can try that. Next up in the order, 4-4. Nice Lakitu bounce by Human Mustard. Nice dodge to the boss pass by Claris. And Dark Shadows is taking the very rare coin heaven path where apparently this is still auto-scrolling. Okay, I could have sworn we got rid of that one, but apparently not. The things you learn about the Randomizer every day. Another Sledge Brother guarding. Ooh, Hammer. Hammer still can break rocks and locks in this version, so that may come in handy. Ah, First World had 1-5, now we have its beta incarnation. However, it is still tricky, and oh, Fonzoid gets knocked out. Dark Shadows has the correct path now. Claris had to go down, missed the Lakitu bounce, but fortunately no swimming problems here. Next airship is the World 4 airship. I could have sworn in the vanilla game there was a nut you can use to go across, but I'm guessing sprite limitations prevented that. Oh well. And sorry, Dark Shadows, no power up there. You are thinking of the World 4 airship, or maybe the coin ship. Morton Koopa Jr. is 4 hits as well. And Claris is celebrating with a hammer on top of the cloud. Two worlds down. One fortress skipped for those keeping up. Alright, Claris's turn now for the Big Mouth. As we enter World 4. And going for the fortress first in World 4. Not a bad idea. We have immediate access to see whether the bridge will be built here. So, once we defeat Boom Boom, we will actually know. Oh, Fonzoid actually got eaten, it looked like. I guess Boss Bass was hungry today. Fortunately, Fonzoid has learned, and they have managed to avoid a second meal. And that was not the correct fortress. We have to take the pipe. Ooh, Dark Shadows did not know the shortcut. But fortunately, we have the other fortress right here, and it's the first fortress of World 4. So, both of the fortresses ended up being in the vanilla world, but technically their tiles were not. I don't know if this counts as a vanilla enough situation or not, but there you go. Alright, fortunately Dark Shadows does have that raccoon tail. Just has to build up speed and fly up there. Alright, bridge is built, and ooh, Human Mustard very low on power-ups. Remember, no end card game enabled for this flag set, so Toad Houses and Hammer Bro encounters are your best bets for getting items. In this case, the Raccoon Leaf will serve us nicely. Just have to be very careful. EMP any amount of money? We're hoping to find more developers that can help do that, but if you know of any more, please let us know. Alright, Dark Shadows has the flight. Claris avoiding the bonus area, but fortunately that is the right fortress. And in this case, World 5's airship. So World 4 ended up being a relatively quick one as well here. Alright, Dark Shadows knows of the idea, but Lakitu is scrolled away. And Iggy Koopa hops out of here after 3 hits. Claris has just formed the bridge, and now is going to get a reward from the Toad House. Super Mushroom instead. I certainly wouldn't object. Power-ups are a little bit more sparse when you don't have an end card game to get. So what is the 4th world today? World 1. Oh, if you have a hammer, there you go. So we start off with 3-2. I believe most of our runners will have a hammer by the time they get to the 1st world. So we can at least skip 3 stages that way. However, the fortress is still in the way, regardless. Dark Shadows now in the beta level has to be careful. Nice Koopa kick to take out that Venus flytrap. And Human Mustard does not care about what's in that fortress. Instead, using the star, defeating the Fire Bros, not only getting a star back, but also avoiding the need to retreat back to that fortress. So let's have the World 1 airship instead. Dark Shadows is thinking about that hammer, bro. 2 Sledge Bros in the desert? That'll work. And we have our first Earthquaker, Larry Koopa, aka Cheatsy. 2 hits, though. Let's use this time at the halfway point. Make sure to please follow our runners, as they are giving us an excellent show with the new beta flags. Fonzoid hoping to get through the World 5 airship without a problem. Sky Fortress is the one that Human Mustard skipped, as we now enter World 3. And I think we have another beta level here. I believe this is 6.8 beta, maybe 3.6 beta, maybe 7.3 beta. It's one of those 3. All I know is Lakitu can be a pain in it. Fortunately, Human was able to take it out. Claris was able to defeat the Sky Fortress, and Dark Shadows is about to enter World 4. Ooh, 5-1. If our runners had a raccoon tail, they could fly up to the top and get an item, but it is a little bit of a long way to do so. Ooh, Fonzoid entered 3-9. Oh, taking the long way. Did Fonzoid not pick up a hammer? And in the meantime, we have... it's Mew Mew fans' favorite fortress, the Dark Door Maze. And this time, we don't have enough, Lakitu clouds to skip over it. In the meantime, Dark Shadows went into the Podobo hand stage and gets another cloud. Oh, Human Mustard missed the door, but fortunately ran across the block, got the coin, so we're still good there. Fonzoid is out of hammers. Has to be careful. Last life. Alright, Dark Door Maze is about to be completed. And I have no clue what lock was broken or what bridge was built there. In the meantime, 3-3 at... 3-3? Wait, was the tile actually 3-3 there, or is the position a coincidence? With the new randomization flags, it's a little hard to tell. Fonzoid is continuing on. There is the actual 5-3. And Claris is now going through the Dark Door Maze. We have the first of our 6 pipes. Only one will take us to Wendy O. Koopa's castle at the end. Which one will it be? We have 3 accessible right now. Pipe number 1 is the correct one. Alright, we don't have to worry about that other fortress. Alright, Dark Shadows is powered up, and ooh, Fonzoid gets an unfortunate game over. Wendy O. Koopa doesn't have the Quake ability, and doesn't have more than 3 hits either. Sorry, Adam45, that did not happen. Claris is climbing up 5-1, as Fonzoid has to go through again, through 5-3. Yeah, not having a hammer certainly hurts, as we now go to World 5. Which means, order-wise, World 7 will be at World 7. We take the pipe, and, well, here's some good news. We don't have to worry about going up the tower, because the tower is what we need to go down it. And yeah, that is a nasty enemy set, folks. You are correct. So yeah, we have just descended into the sky, as we have to hope for the best, or we just break that lock. Sure, why not? So having hammers on hand is proving to be essential with this beta. Ooh, Paragoomba said hello! Dark Shadows does have a hammer and is able to take the shortcut. And in the meantime, ooh, Fonzoid has 7-4. Ouch! And for those wondering who rolled this seed, that would be me. Alright, Dark Shadows is now going through 3-2 without a problem. Gets another Lakitu Cloud. That'll certainly prove to be useful for later on. And once again, Human Mustard likes to skip almost every stage possible. Admittedly, I cannot blame this decision, but who knows what's going to happen with World 7 and 8 here. Claris going for the running strats. Assuming running speed could be gotten. There we go. Fly over the bricks and in. Dark Shadows now going through the Sky Fortress. And, oh boy, we already have some folks in chat calling for a sub 30-minute finish. That would be insane if that happened. Frog suit for Claris, that may help. as Fonzoid is now caught up. World 7, the pipe maze, and we have pipes all over for you. Good luck keeping up with which one we need. First one... Oh boy, 3 more to choose from. We have a pipe smorgasbord here. That island is pointless, though. 2 more. Well, 2 more from there. Oh, that's a bad one. Also, I had missed what fortress Dark Shadows was in during that entire explanation. And, sensible streamer, this is not Dragon Warrior Randomizer. You will find your spark over bridges at Alefgard. Music box from the first Piranha plant. And Human Mustard is going for the fort, and thus we have in the Navy, where we can rando all the time. In the Navy, where getting PBs are sublime. In the Navy, where stopping boss bass ain't a crime. In the Navy, in the Navy. Boom Boom apparently hates the Navy. Down he goes. Now, which pipe is the correct one? That'll do! But Human Mustard is now out of clouds. So has to go through 3-1. As Dark Shadows is right now going through the one beta level that I can never remember the title for. Claris has now descended to the sky and has 2 hammers available. That'll help. Pro is suggesting to music box the Piranha stage, but Human Mustard says no. I agree with what Human Mustard is doing because one more chance for an item. And it's a P-Wing! If we end up with any more troll stages in World 8, that will come in handy. Fonzoid now going through the Dark Door Maze. And Dark Shadows is actually going for the item in 5-1. Get the pipe aligned, there you go. One more flight to go through. There's enough running speed to do this. You're gonna have to go back and forth a few times. Ooh, Ludwig is a high jumper. Fly, duck, jump, and Dark Shadows has it. Now, here's the question. It's rare to see runners go for this. Is the item in 5-1 worth it? It's a hammer! It may very well be! And in the meantime, Claris ended up in the first fortress. I had missed where that was located. Though based off of that position, still in World 5. Fonzoid has now taken the correct pipe as, whoo boy, Human Mustard is running away with it right now. And we start with 4 pipes here. Oh boy, we may be in trouble, folks. Depending on where those locks are located, that's going to dictate a lot. Darkland has become its own pipe maze here with this new flag set. Ooh, Dark Shadow's taking a rather non-traditional path here. So, 2 more pipes to go. Which one is it going to be? Other end, and there's one of the locks, so we can at least... We just need to know where the other 3 are. How about that pipe? Our intended pipe is somewhere in the dark maze. But first, Human Mustard is going through the tank tile, and it is 7-8. Ooh, one of the worst stages to deal with. Lots of precision, especially with this part right here. The Pipes of M. Fortunately through it. Ooh! Hello there, Boss Bass. Barely saw you over there. But Human Mustard is doing the right thing, despawning it and also getting a power-up in the process. Claris is now in World 7. Bonzoid did pick up a hammer, so is able to take the shortcut. So... what may have happened there, as far as why Human Mustard did that, may not have recognized the sprite. May not have recognized that it was actually going to be an army level and not the super tank. However, I believe our intended pipe is going to be in the dark maze somewhere in here, which means we have fortress-based stages to go through, including the Desert Fortress, where we already have a lot of boot diddlies trying to make things interesting. Dark Shadows is through 3-3 without a problem. And once again, we have runners liking to skip stages, but they're not skipping this one. Is this 5-3 beta? I don't think it's 3-9 beta. Either way, ooh, Fire Snake in that position. That's a bit rough. Okay, that's 7-2 beta. Thank you. Eventually, I'm gonna need a backup map. Oh no, there was a lock right there! That was not the lock that Human Mustard wanted to see broken. Ended up on the other side. That was near vanilla. Is this the correct pipe? It is the correct pipe, but we have 2 locks! The penultimate fortress is the ground fort of World 5. If Human Mustard has another hammer, this is it! Roy Koopa taken out by Fonzoid. And apparently I had missed a super tank sighting. I'm guessing that was in the pipe maze. Alright, does Human Mustard have a hammer? Yes! And a hammer suit! As Claris is now in the Navy, Human Mustard, a sub 30 minutes may not be possible, but a sub 31 should be. Ooh, nice clip. I don't know if this clip is slower or faster, but it's always a little precarious because of that roto disc. Okay, we're good. Top path taken. Statue's not a problem. Time for the broken bridge. And now here is Bowser Koopa. There was Bowser Koopa. Everyone, get your GGs out in chat, as Human Mustard has demonstrated the power of the new flags by getting first place with an official SRL time of 30 minutes, 34 seconds. This is kind of an unreal time. Even though for Worlds 7 and 8, you didn't have to worry about going through a lot of the stages, you had the pipes instead. Going through the pipes takes less time. In the meantime, let's get another runner on mic'd up here. Now let's see if we can get Human Mustard in for an interview here. As far as how the other runners are doing right now, Dark Shadows is still dealing with World 5 at World 6, World 5 at Position 6. Claris is trying to finish up World 7, nice jumping, and Fonzoid's on the correct path. And folks, unfortunately, Human Mustard is unable to join for an interview tonight, but still, kudos for that very fast time. So we are now down to 4 official runners. Our other featured 3 of the featured 4, along with Ibuba 7. Fonzoid is now going through Ludwig's airship, as Dark Shadows completes 1-4 the intended way. And don't worry, Leslie Pro, there will be plenty more races. Ooh! Dark Shadows is unfamiliar with how this lost level works. Multiple pipes here. But which ones can you get in, especially when you're big size? Answer? The one that you can slide in. And that was an interesting little graphical thing with the Fire Chomp. However, the big problem is going to be the Fire Snake at the end. And Dark Shadows recognizes the threat. Plenty of space, there we go. And now both Claris and Fonzoid are trying to find the correct paths here. And yes, Truant Gamer, we already have a finisher. The power of the beta flags, same as the tournament flags, with 2 changes. No end card game, and the tiles themselves on the overworld map are randomized. That's why you see 4 pipes on Fonzoid's side. Nice slide to get a leaf for Claris, as Dark Shadows is taking out Roy. Never mind, has taken out Roy. Fonzoid on the correct path without realizing it. However, we may have a potential upset. If Claris still has a hammer, then that means they are literally 2 stages away from victory. I don't know if Fonzoid has one as well. Oh, mistimed the jump into the spike pit he goes. As Dark Shadows is now in the traditional pipe maze, let's see how he handles it. Stopping at a Toad's house, not a bad idea. Nice star pickup for Claris. And I think that was a hammer suit that Dark Shadows just got. Let me check the replay. Yes! 2 hammer suits on hand. Nice. Double boom boom defeats for our top runners, as Dark Shadows is trying to figure out where on earth to go. And Claris did have a hammer. But Fonzoid does not. That means there is one other stage that Fonzoid has to complete. one more power-up opportunity for Dark Shadows here. A third hammer suit! Ooh, man. Anyone want hammer suit practice? Here you go. Ooh, and already the folks at home are wanting to see the actual penultimate stage be the Piranha Fortress. And it just may very well be! Fonzoid's in it right now! But Claris has already snuck up and defeated Bowser. Koopa just has to go through the door. Oh, slipped! Claris.com has finished with an official SRL time of 37 minutes, 23 seconds. And Ibuba7 off-stream has finished in third with an official SRL time of 37 minutes, 36 seconds. So yes, Claris was second. Our off-stream runner was third. Fonzoid has to be careful here. Nose of the hot foot. Leading it out slowly. Ooh, another one. Oh, that's bad. That's bad! Thwomped. Ouch. Debating whether to use the P-Wing. Committing to it. As we currently watch Fonzoid get through this Piranha Fortress, Claris.com... Oh, I should not have said that. I'm sorry, the P-Wing was just lost.
Commentators curses everywhere. Wolfie, come on, man. Thanks.
What can I say? I was gonna end up causing a curse at some point. And now I caused a curse by saying a curse because Fonzoid is about to curse me thanks to that hot foot. But seriously,
man.
what were your thoughts on this beta seed?
Oh, well, I knew why I lost by about 7 minutes there, but other than that, it was a pretty good flowing seed.
Yeah, Human Mustard, who was unable to join, was able to use Lakitu Clouds at the correct time, and was just able to skip a bunch of stages that ended up proving to be, not needed in the end.
Oh, yeah. 8 was a little bit of a mess, but it wasn't too bad of a puzzle to solve. I wish I could have taken 8-4 back, but I had a feeling that if I'm in a cloud and I hope this fortress is okay, and then once I got in there, it's like, oh, please don't jump the lava, please don't jump the lava, and then right in the drink.
Yeah, it's... Even with all the changes, it still comes down to fundamentals of the base game.
Yeah, you always take somebody who has better skills.
Oh boy, the Piranha Fortress was not the correct one. Fonzoid did not have a hammer.
Oh, okay.
So the actual penultimate stage is on the hand bridge.
Oh my goodness. I knew 7 is like, okay, I should save at least a hammer and a cloud, and I had 1 and 1, and was like, okay, which fortress is this? So I did end up doing both of them.
Now, I said it was on the hand bridge itself. It's technically on the hand bridge screen, but... oh boy, yeah. This... And Fonzoid is a little lost as Dark Shadows is now entering World 8. And just it's this is the chaos that is these new flag sets. How did you like the Ice World where you had to build a second bridge?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, I took the calculated risk of coming in backwards. I could have gone back and did them in a more linear order that you're accustomed to, but I was like, it's right there. I have to do one stage. If I get lucky, I get lucky. It turned out to be pretty good.
And, oh no, Fonzoid did not realize you had to go through that through the hand bridge, ended up realizing immediately which was the army stage, but needs to go back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't really discern which tank is the super tank and which tank is the regular tank until you go through them. So
They're the same sprite?
they are the same sprite.
I did not realize. So, that may be something we can hopefully look into for next time. Maybe. I don't know if Fred will have the ability to make unique sprites here. For each... Yeah, I just saw like 2 tanks on the same screen there. That's impressive.
It is pick which one, and hopefully you get the right one.
So that explains some of the confusion from earlier.
Yeah, this opening screen in 8 is it's entertaining.
That it is. I mean, 4 pipes immediately, and oh! Fonzoid again, the wrong direction, but now heading in the right one. You got to skip out on going through 8-2. How do you feel about that?
Yay! I do not like that stage at all. Either 8-1 or 8-2. So if I can skip them, that's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can understand how convoluted, these stages and this order can be. I wonder if it's throwing Fonzoid off a little bit.
I think now he knows which way he needs to go. It's just a matter of what he might have to go through. The jump.
Uh-oh, I don't think Dark Shadows has a hammer either. Which means both Dark Shadows and Fonzoid have to go through the Water Fortress.
3-4-2, nice.
Yep. This is... But fortunately, you were able to avoid that and get a very respectable time here. Thoughts on how this seed went now that everything is all settled down and you get to watch our 2 runners here?
No, I mean, it's... If you were conservative and you decided you needed to hold on to things, it turned out to be pretty good. I know some people don't like to play houses or immediately just power up immediately once they're small, but a little bit of patience went a long way here.
When you get the chance, I would like you to watch Human Mustard's play, because I'd like to know how he was able to figure out when to cloud where, and... Yep, Dark Shadows has now realized the harsh truth, as Fonzoid is now 1 shot. This is the last item, last hammer suit. Oh, okay, did not miss the platform, good. Human Mustard, you had clouded a number of stages that Claris did not, and it ended up helping a lot. And that included the end of World 5. Did you go through... how many of those stages did you go through in the end?
I hammered the lock and went around. I did the 1 stage before the second fortress. Did the second fortress and I clouded the last stage. So I only did 2 on cloud side.
Oh, Dark Shadows is going through the Piranha Fortress, doesn't realize it's not needed, but I understand why. As Fonzoid has taken out Bowser Koopa with the hammers and can breathe a sigh of relief. Get your GGs out in chat, folks. 46:04 is the official time. And immediately not giving me a chance to swap audio sources. Nice. So So, enjoy the white screen, folks, as we attempt to get Fonzoid in for an interview. According to Human Mustard, the NES was literally just turned off in rage, apparently. As we now have Dark Shadows successfully going through the Piranha Fortress, only to realize that's not the right path. You have you have been enjoying this one a good deal, Claris. I can tell.
Seeing other struggles doesn't really really make for it, but he's getting the puzzle solved.
Yeah. Fonzoid has chosen to decline an interview. With how this seed has gone, I can't blame him one bit. Dark Shadows now has the choice. And ends up with the wrong one. Again, that simultaneous tank sprite ended up throwing everyone off. The Pipes of M claiming another victim. But Dark Shadows is still going for it, probably not remembering that the army stage or its equivalent will not actually unlock a lock. And, oh! Boss Bass, stop hovering! Oh, Dark Shadows... Okay, did he remember the pipe? He did. Whew, that... I was getting a little worried there. And Seize the Fire Flower says no. So, fortunately... this one did not cause a problem, and getting some extra lives for insurance. But... again, not realizing that if it doesn't end in a boom boom, it's not going to break a lock. Inventory rage. Claris, do you have anything else you would like to say, as I believe Dark Shadows has found the correct path?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Alright, then I guess with that in mind, thank you for the, I guess rather unique interview here. Sorry it didn't work as well as intended. Oh, we have a hand grab! 3-7. And statue rage on the missed star. Seriously though, thank you, Claris. Sorry that this one did not work out as well as intended.
Oh no, it was still a good race. No, thanks for the restream and the commentary. You're doing the big share of the work, man. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. Okay, let's... Alright, Dark Shadows has 3-7 in the bag at this point. Gets the Fire Flower for good measure. Not going into Cloud Heaven. Oh! Nipper Plant with the Revenge Fire. Here is the intended finale, the Water Fortress. Claris, I actually did not notice that detail. I may have to catch that on the replay. But if that is the case, that would help. There is so much we are learning about the beta flags and how the sprite interaction works here. Though please, give all of our runners a follow first, if you're going to make such a suggestion. Alright, Dark Shadows has gotten through. And now, time for the final castle. Bowser Koopa, your number is arriving shortly. The correct path has been found. Dark Shadows has 3 hammer suits using one now. Taking the slow path up, not a bad idea. Patience is going to help the most. If Dark Shadows takes a hit, would it be better to just take a death and equip another hammer suit, or just press on? I honestly don't know. Not too familiar with this clip. Understands the basic idea, needing to get up, but has to curve around from the higher ledge. And decided no thank you. So a new question. Ooh, nice Putaboo kill. Or Putabo. Potaboo. You know what I mean. Taking these jumps very carefully, hoping for a top path. Gets it, avoids the laser. Don't worry, only the first one actually fires a laser. Being very careful across the donut bridges. There we go. Now just a few more hammers left. But keeping his distance, not familiar with the hitbox. Has the high ground. And in this case, having the high ground worked out. Folks, get your GGs in chat out one more time, as our newest runner, Dark Shadows 59, has finished with an official SRL time of 55 minutes, 5 seconds. And suddenly, Star Wars Episode 3 quotes. Do we seriously have to reference that part of the movie? Alright, let's get Dark Shadows in for an interview as we put on some more remixes for you. Let's see which one. Not that one. There we go. Some nice smooth music as we welcome in Dark Shadows 59. GG.
That World 8, I'm guessing everyone had a hammer for it but me.
Bonzoid didn't have a hammer either.
So I did the first cast. I'm like, okay, I can go through. Wait, there's still a lock there.
Yep.
And then the second one is like, okay, this has got to do it. And no. Those two clouds came in handy at the end, though.
That they did. But
I think it was the last airship level though that unlocked it. That boss bass out of nowhere. I had a mini heart attack there.
So yes, it was the water fortress that gave you the path to Bowser Koopa's castle.
That one, right? Okay. At least I got stocked up full of items on the way, though.
That you did. I would recommend that to anyone that is newer to this randomizer. And you played it very smart throughout. Just some minor routing things, but you'll catch up to them in time.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of these races, but I haven't seen the beta until tonight. So some of the changes I saw in there just kind of threw me for a loop as well.
So, what ended up... I mean, the beta changes threw everyone for a loop for a little bit. But one of the things that I felt you were thrown off by was actually something with the previous tournament flags. So, something that you may not be aware of. When you were on the handbridge screen and you saw the two tanks on both sides, the first tank on the right, that took you to a normal stage. It did not end in a boom boom. That will never break a lock. So, there were some folks in chat wondering about that decision because you were not the only one that did that.
Alright, well, that's good to know for later.
Hey, not a problem. We want many people to join this randomizer after all. If you want to give this a shot, all you have to do, if I can type it right, we have access to the program for the randomizer, and you can also join our Discord, so feel free to exchange tips, stories, funny boss bass incidents, you know. Boss Bass is kind of sort of our unofficial mascot on these weekly races.
Especially flying boss bass.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't get eaten.
That was like, what, maybe 3 pixels away?
It was very close. And the fact that you were able to take it out with your raccoon tail, nice.
Purely by accident. I will not claim that was planned. But on the fortress with the doors, where if you take the wrong door, you go into the drink. I forgot which door to take.
You did remember in the end, right?
Yeah, the first door I took me to the mushroom. I jumped in to grab the mushroom. Then the second door I took was the right door. I ended up with the fire flower, so it all worked out. It looked planned.
So, yeah, door 5 will take you to the 1-up mushroom in vanilla, or was that a 10-coin block? And it's door 6 that takes you to Boom Boom. You had the right idea. Unfortunately, you didn't actually fall in the water from what I saw.
No, I just jumped in for the mushroom because I was small.
Having power-ups helps.
A slow Mario is faster than a dead Mario.
That is true. And look on the bright side, you also didn't game over on this run.
I got to 1 life. I got close. I got close early.
But you had a clean run. So hopefully you can use what you've learned, and we'll hopefully see an improved time for you.
Oh yeah, I definitely plan on practicing this a bit more.
Any final thoughts here?
Watch out for surprise boss bass.
Hey, that's my line! You have been watching these.
Once or twice.
Give it up for Dark Shadows 59, Claris.com, Fonzoid, and Human Mustard, our featured 4 for tonight. Please give them all a follow if you haven't already.